All right, so now we're ready for the next step, which is step number 3. The first thing you have to do here is determine which way you want the zipper to lap. So on a men's zipper, it's always left over right. So that's what I have here because I'm looking at it, but it would be worn like this. So it's left over right. Women's are often right over left. On jeans, it's almost always left over right. On women's dress pants, it can be right over left. So I'm going to do left over right for mine. So that means that this side, here's my underlap. So I'm just going to put a little pin there, although it'll probably get in the way. But this is my underlap, so I'm just going to mark that. So then it says to press your underlap to the wrong side along the extension line. And then in bold letters it says, note that the extension line runs parallel to the center front line. So I want to show you here on the pattern again. Here's the extension line. Here's the center front. Center front line ends at the dot. Extension line does not. The extension line, if we measure that, is 3/8 of an inch away. So we got to remember that because this is where I see a lot of problems come up with this. So I'm going to take my underlap, which is this one right here, and I'm going to look at my snips. The first snip that I have is the stitching line, the second is the center front, and the last one right here towards the edge is my extension fold line. So I'm going to go ahead and press that back. Okay, so I've got that all lined up here at the top. So I'm going to put a pin to keep that lined up. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to line it up at the bottom. Now remember that this extension line is 3/8 of an inch from the dot. So I'm going to go over here to my extension line at the dot and I'm going to make sure that is also 3/8. So can you see now that I have my 3/8 marked? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the iron and I'm going to press that good, okay? As a little steam goes a long ways. So steam away, and it's not steaming. But I'm probably not waiting long enough because I want to keep moving here. So this iron, but I'm getting a nice crease. So it'll start steaming about when I'm finished. That's usually what happens. Okay, so I've got my extension line all pressed on the underlap, and it runs, I've got it right here at the clip, and it's 3/8 from the dot, so I'm right on. Okay, then step 4 is to press the, okay, that one was the underlap. Okay, now we're going to press the overlap to the wrong side along center front line. Okay, this one is my overlap, and my center front line is this middle line. Okay, so now I'm going to press it here, and I'm going to put a pin in here to make sure that stays back where it's supposed to, and then this actually ends at the dot. Now if I've cut this on grain, then it should run straight where it's supposed to. Okay, so now I've got that one, and I'm going to press that. And this iron is starting to smell, which means it must be hot. Yeah, okay, that's really hot. And so, let me look at this temperature. Okay, it's on 3 dots, so why isn't it steaming? Wait. Okay, well, it's on steam. Let's see if it does it. Okay, so now I've pressed the overlap to the wrong side along the center front line. Okay, now number 5 is you're going to take your zipper right side up, and you're going to put that along the underlap edge with the top stop 3/4 from the raw edge. Okay, so I'm going to lower this just a little bit, maybe about 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to press that right along the zipper teeth. Okay. And I'm going to pin and edge stitch the length of that underlap. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pin it. So let me get it all pinned first. Now remember, we want the edge to come right to the zipper teeth. Okay, sometimes when we pin it sort of moves it a bit, but just try and get that as smooth as you can. I'm using these pins with the balls so you can kind of see where I'm pinning. They're not my favorite pins, but they seem to be working, so that's good. Okay, and then I'm just going to go straight up like that, and you can see that now that top stop is, actually mine's about 1 inch, so I think I'm going to move it up just a little bit. And see, that top stop is already, well, it's already almost 3/4, so I'm gonna keep it down a little ways, maybe 1/8. But you could almost bring it up really close to the top, because it depends on your zippers. The ones we buy, we get them in bulk, so sometimes they are a little bit different. But that's the one you'll be using, so you can bring it up pretty close to the top there. Okay, so once we get that all pinned, then we can go ahead and edge stitch that. So now I'm going to go back to the machine to do that. There. Okay.